I made this galaxy thingy using Blender Eevee. Let me show you how. The scene is made with Eevee, and one of the reasons why that is because Eevee has this bloom thing that just makes the entire scene pop out. The glow in the center is because of a light that was added, and by changing the light's color and intensity, we can add a bit of like a gradient type of thing in between the galaxy's center. And since it's light, so as it gradually fades out, it makes the other colors of the main object itself pop out even more. The entire galaxy thing doesn't really use any texture or anything, so just by changing the colors and the sliders and the values, we get a sort of like procedural galaxy type of thing. The animation is pretty simple. I just made the object and the camera rotate in the opposite directions to get this sort of like, spinning type of thing. To add some extra depth, I actually added a second galaxy and, scaled it down just in the middle to give it a bit more depth in between and some light as well. The shader for it is pretty easy. I just made a few texture coordinates and mapping nodes and connected them with this 3D mesh that I created. Once that was done, I connected a few different noise textures together to create like a cloud type of thing. With help of texture coordinate, and I used the UVs as its base, and then I just like it subdivided the main object, the 3D mesh, and then I like selected the bit like the main center part and just rotated it. Now color ramp plays a huge part in this entire scene. Without that, none of this could have been achieved. Then I mixed a few different noise textures, experimented with a few different shades, watched a few tutorials. For the transparency and the fall off of the galaxy, I used a gradient texture and set it to spherical from the texture coordinates object. Creating the stars and the world was relatively easy. I just connected a color ramp with a noise texture and just projected onto the background. And then I just adjusted the sliders on and then tried to create a sort of like starry pattern. I used the scale values and a linear blend between the both color ramp, and then I just got something that was convincing enough. Then I added some more details and I added the light in between, and then I just created a transparent fall off for the end of the galaxy to make it sort of like fade out as it gradually, goes towards the end. I was too lazy to like follow along the entire tutorial, so I did a few adjustments myself and then I just moved on to the coloring phase. I tweaked the color ramp, the base color, and a lot of other things that I had with the color ramp things all around, and after a lot of tweaking, I got something that felt sort of convincing. And I thought, yeah, I guess this looks sort of like a galaxy. I rotated and adjusted the camera to, like give it a bit of rotation. I zoomed in a bit, added some bloom effect, and overall, at the end, it kind of looked nice, I guess. I mean, it's not perfect as the tutorial itself, but I think it just looks sort of nice, and it's definitely not like the entire tutorial. I did like, cut a lot of corners, and I think what I got here was a sort of like a low budget version of the original tutorial. You can just probably do this in like, 10 to like 9 to 10 minutes or so once you get used to it. So yeah, I'll be linking down the original tutorial if you want to see it. And you can also download this material from my Patreon page. Link will be also given in the description. So yeah, thanks for watching.